Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about being in an abusive marriage. What signs should you look out for in a man before you marry them so that you don't end up in an abusive marriage? And what should you do if you happen to find yourself in an abusive marriage, okay?
She was 21 when she and Diddy, who is 17 years older than her, got together. She said they first kissed during her 21st birthday party trip to Las Vegas, and they later had sex during a trip to Miami. She said it was her first adult relationship, and she was impressed how he commanded respect and had assistance at his beck and call.
But she told the jury that soon the relationship turned abusive and very controlling.
She said she only had to look at him with the quote, wrong face, and she would get hit.
She said the freak-offs took up to 72 hours of her week, with the longest one ever lasting for 4 days. But Cassie says she agreed because she loved him very much and couldn't feel like she could say no. And at this point, she got quite emotional, pausing to wipe her eyes and place her hands on her belly.
I don't think anybody signs up for an abusive marriage. They find themselves in
In
it.
it, yeah.
And I think one of the main things is that they are blinded by their love.
Yes,
You
I
know,
think most of the time people actually do see signs, but they end up like overlooking a lot of things and hoping that the person will change.
yeah. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. He'll change. He'll
Yeah.
change. I'll change him.
I'll change him.
Sometimes
Even that's the
they will feel
worst.
like they can change
You
the
cannot
person.
change a man. You
Doesn't
cannot
work.
change a woman. I'm sure you guys have seen this update on Osinachi's husband, and you've seen that he's been sentenced to death by hanging. This is terrible. Like, it's sad. It's sad. And some people are saying that he deserves it. Justice has been served. Okay? But I feel like all this could have been prevented in the first place if she had noticed the signs in him. She would have avoided being in a marriage. In fact, she left her matrimonial home to go to her parents' home for a whole year. The guy came begging and pleading that he's going to change, and she was also hoping he would change. And then she went back just to go and die. So sad.
It's sad, and I think it's a situation that people may find themselves in, and some people may not even want to come out and talk about it because it's like it's kind of frowned upon in society. Like,
Exactly.
well, you're disgracing your husband or you're disgracing your wife because some wives do beat their husband.
Yes.
It's also there,
Yeah.
So it's like there's that stigma attached to it. Like they don't want that thing to come upon their husband or their family. So most of the time they suffer in silence
In silence.
and they don't get to anybody. But I think that's one of the main things. You need to speak out. You need
Yeah.
to speak to somebody
Yeah.
about this thing.
Before we even delve into the topic, we just want to touch on a few of the things that happened while she was married to the man, right? So apparently the man was abusive verbally and physically, even outside of their home. So in front of the choir people and even in public, even in public, he would say stuff like you are smelling and you are mad and even slap her.
Oh, Charlie.
Yes, it was that bad. He would slap her outside of their home, and even when they were in the house, it was worse. So this is all that I heard from other videos, right? He would abuse her so much that he would even involve the children in beating her. He would tell the children to beat their mother, and if they don't, of course, they know what they'll face, so they'd have to join the man in beating their own mother. And it just reflects in her songs. You see, her songs have this sad vibe to it. I don't know if you remember some of her songs. Her
But
songs
was she
had,
being abused while she was singing?
yeah, she's been married to the man for God knows how long. So of course, and she was a singer all the way to her death.
Oh, Charlie.
Yes, so it's and the man was her manager. The husband was a manager. He used to keep all the money. Can you believe she used to ask people for money? She would go out to ask people for money because she didn't have enough money. She the breadwinner of the family, right? Because of her singing, the family was comfortable, but she never was able to enjoy any of that money.
What does the man do?
Apparently. So I think they said he was a mechanic. From the video I watched, he was a mechanic. And then he stopped working altogether to manage his wife, whom he was abusing. This is evil.
Yeah.
It's just too
It's a
sad.
sad story. It's a sad story.
Too sad. So if for anything, she was the one bringing money into the family to make sure the family is comfortable. So I think she should have been treated like a queen, in my opinion. You see, she should have been like really pampered by her husband, and she didn't deserve any of the things she went through. She didn't deserve any of the things she went through.
So how do people stop themselves from getting into such a relationship?
Yeah, I think first of all, look at the signs. Look at the signs. There are so many red flags you would find.
Like,
Like the person is always shouting at you. You know, you're not married to him yet, but he can shout at you, and he has anger issues. That's a red flag already. I think we've even done a video on this before.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, red flags to look out for. We'll link it so that you can get the full video. But these are some of the signs. Anger issues are what cause abuse in every marriage. Yes, I think even when it comes to verbal abuse, it's still linked to anger in a certain way because the person will say bad things when they are angry. You
Yeah,
get it?
yeah,
So
yeah.
those are some of the signs every woman or man even should look out for when he's in a relationship.
It reminds me of a story a friend told me. She said she was dating this guy, and the guy like had anger issues. They could be in traffic, some trotro will cross them at circle, busy circle. The guy will stop the car, get out of the car, go and fight with the trotro driver,
Wow.
and then come back in. I was like, hey, this one
Wow.
it's either he's doing a show for you, the girl, to show
So
that
that he's a
I'm a
man.
man,
No,
that kind
but
of thing, or I mean, the guy has issues. But
Eesh.
I mean, yeah, those are signs that you should look
You should
at.
look at.
You should look at it.
Don't
How
be.
how how does he react to other people? How does he react to some news? And if you date someone long enough or court someone long enough, you get to see
See those
these
signs.
these sides of the person.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't date someone for like a very short time and then marry the person because that's dangerous. It takes a while to see a lot in a person's character. So don't date for just a short time and then you're in a rush to enter a marriage and all that. I don't recommend that.
Yeah, I mean, you will not see everything. Marriage is by faith, to be honest,
You'll
because
not see everything, of
I
course.
don't know everything, even by dating for 10, 20 years. I'll not see everything. I'll see an aspect, or maybe most, but not
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, and do your own investigation.
Yeah,
Yeah, ask behind his back, ask questions, talk to his friends. How is this guy like? Talk to family members, people who have
who
related with
grew
him
up
for
with him.
years.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, because most of the time, characters are not easy to do away with, right? And they show. It's just like pregnancy. There's a proverb in Tree that says that characters are like pregnancy. They come up, they would surely come out for everyone to see. So someone definitely knows something you don't know. So do your own investigation.
definitely, definitely. Very important.
And after you've gotten into the marriage, of course, marriage is for life, so you can't leave. But what do you do to
No, but if
prevent?
they are beating you, I mean, that's a different matter.
Yes, but
Even though
apparently,
marriage is for life, like, yes, it's a bond that you are entering into. But Charlie, if the person is abusing you, he's unapologetic about it, and he wants to continue abusing you, that's a problem.
there's a
Like,
very big problem there.
honestly, I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
and
not tell someone like that to stay. Not even, you shouldn't even stay in the same house with that person for
that
a while
person, yeah,
until the person really wants to change and really wants to make a difference. Because, Charlie,
that's what happened. So he went back to her house to go get her because she was convinced that, oh, this my husband will change. He will change.
yeah,
He will change one day. He will change. He will change. He will change. It's a sad story, but I mean, Charlie, whatever the situation is, you look at what you can do to save your life. That's what I think. So yeah, you need to be careful out there. You need to be careful. If you're in a toxic relationship, you should spot it early so that you don't end up in a marriage with that person. And if you're already in a marriage with someone who is toxic or someone who is abusive, please make sure everybody around you knows what's going on, especially if he's not changing or if she is not changing.
I mean, how can you go and marry a wife and then you are beating the wife? Like,
No, no, no. That's
like,
no,
there's something
like,
wrong with you.
yeah, the
Honestly,
person's
there's something
upbringing.
wrong with you as a man if you do
Yes,
that.
maybe it was the upbringing. Maybe it was how he was brought up. Brought up to hate women. He probably saw his father do the same thing, and he thought it was normal that women have to be subjected to
Beatings.
beatings or strict authority. It's all very, very, very wrong. Very wrong. I think the African culture has a role to play.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so. I
And then
think so.
religion as well. Religion also, the woman, what are all those verses? The woman should submit, you know, the man has rule over the woman. All those Bible things, Bible verses that
Out
can be
of
taken out of
context.
context.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, so please let's just be looking out for each other. If you have a friend who is in an abusive marriage, shall be checking up on the person frequently. That's also one thing we should do in the society. Be checking up on such people, give them the support they need and the love they need. Okay.
So let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situation and being
Yeah.
in abusive marriages. We didn't even talk about relationships because if you're in an abusive relationship, I think you're not married, please. You don't need to be there. You don't need to go through that drama.
At all.
If your boyfriend, maybe your husband, your boyfriend is beating
Recently,
you, Charlie.
yeah. Recently, a KNUSC student was stabbed to death. A lady was stabbed to death by her boyfriend. You see,
Yeah, and I'm sure it's because you are so much in love. Like, oh, I love him. I
that
love
thing I can't.
him. I love him. Girls in love, it's
I'm still trying
a
to understand why some girls act like
yeah,
that.
it's a real big problem. So please, if you are in that situation, your boyfriend, not husband, boyfriend is trying to beating you, please. You come and tell me I'll beat him for you. I'll catch him and beat him for you.
He'll do it.
Because
He'll do it.
honestly, like
Yeah.
some things are just a no.
Yeah.
So if you've not liked and subscribed, please do. The button doesn't bite. Subscribe, hit the like button,
Yeah.
and share this with anybody you think needs to see this.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like vlogs, please head over to our other channel where we share a lot more of our lives in vlogs. See you there.